I get it. You're not feeling the most motivated right now. You're not necessarily super pumped up, fired up to work on your business. It happens, and guess what? It's okay. What's up, guys? It's Skunberg here with Academy.fm, and today we're going to be talking all about managing your motivation, okay? Honestly, first off, let me go ahead and say this is not the end-all be-all right answer per se. I just want to give my perspective because, I've been working on different companies and ideas really for the past like 6 years, starting with me and my partner Drew's music project, kind of translating into trying some social media stuff, website building. I had a bunch of companies that ended up failing. I wasn't getting anywhere. Dropped out of school, was looking very, very grim. And then all of a sudden, we had some companies that did really, really well in a short amount of time. So I've kind of experienced a good bit. And I've been able to keep a pretty positive mindset throughout the whole thing. And yeah, this is kind of my thoughts on really how I believe that motivation could be managed, okay? Because guess what? If you're somebody who's not feeling as motivated, and let's say you might know somebody else who is, and you might admire that person and constantly be like, man, I wish I was like them. I wish I could be motivated to go do X, Y, and Z. But the reality of the whole thing is I really believe that motivation is something that you need to manage. Because it's like a roller coaster ride, right? Not every day is going to be the same for every person. You might have something bad happen in your life. You may not be having, the most success. You might be hitting a bunch of walls with your business and stuff. And you really need to learn how, just really learn and accept that motivation is something that's going to constantly change, but there's ways that you can control it, okay? So the first thing you really need to understand about managing your motivation is finding out what it is that motivates you, okay? Like what is that thing that's driving you, okay? A lot of people are different. So for me, for example, I get super motivated by competition and pressure. Okay, some people are not like that at all. But to be honest, every time in our company, we've been 2 weeks away from going bankrupt because we didn't have enough to pay payroll, right? We've had situations where we've had launches go absolutely terrible. We've had situations to where things are looking grim. We have to let people go, et cetera, et cetera. But to be honest, the more pressure that comes on the business and the crazier a scenario is, I kind of get excited. It's something that motivates me is because honestly, in my background, I used to go to video game tournaments and stuff, and there was nothing more fun than about to be knocked out of a tournament or playing sports or something. You're about to lose and you have to make that comeback. That's really what gets me excited is because I'm a super competitive person. That might not be you though. You might get motivated by, for personal reasons, right? Like even at the gym, for example, it's really hard to motivate me at the gym versus then when I'm motivating myself for my business, I have to think about different things, okay? So at the gym, I'm not like trying to beat somebody or something like that. I have to think about certain things like, man, I hope I look good at the beach or some random thing like that, right? But when it comes to business, really find out what drives you. Something else that really helped me out was focusing on not only making it fun and competitive for myself, but focusing on, honestly, my family. So one of the biggest things is I remember way back in the day, I was sitting at my parents' house and our house was cold. Okay, the house was cold. It was the wintertime, the heater wasn't on. And I was asking my mom, why is it so cold in here? And she was just saying, oh, we're trying to save money. And I'm thinking in my head, we don't have to do this. We don't have to, I want to blast heat. I want to blast heat in the wintertime because it is cold, and it was something that just made me angry. I'm like, why are we worrying about this little thing? It was actually a very specific moment I remember, but it's something that kind of motivates me. I want to help my family out. I want to help, help my friends try and be successful and stuff. And that stuff really motivates me as well. So the first step is, find that motivation and try to identify it. So you can kind of base your, all the things you do around it. So because family is one of my motivations, sometimes when I'm not feeling as motivated per se and going to let's say a family event or going to visit my aunts and grandma, cousins, whatever, that stuff recharges me, right? And it really does help me out. And honestly, the next thing I really want to talk about managing your motivation is what are you taking in on a daily basis, right? Are you reading books to keep you motivated? Are you listening to success stories? Are you surrounding yourself with other people that are motivated, or are you surrounding yourself with people who are pessimistic, okay? Because humans are very, very, we really adapt to what each other is thinking, right? You're an average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, okay? So that means if you're hanging out with people that are constantly positive and motivating, you'll naturally get bumped up. Even if you're only a 4 and your friend is a 90, you at least go up to an 8, right? You'll at least go up a little bit, okay? And the same thing applies with a lot of things. If you hang out with a lot of friends who are constantly have unhealthy habits or something like that, and let's say you're trying to get in shape, wouldn't it make sense to have friends who are 10 times as in shape than you, so they're not, throwing in the small negativity here and there, you seeing them go out to eat here and there, them inviting you out to the wrong spots. The same thing happens with motivation. You need to surround yourself with that support group or that network of people that's going to bring you up, and then constantly start influencing your life in a different way because, yeah, sure, you may not have a bunch of millionaire friends that can, help you get excited about running a business who are already doing it, right? You may not have that. You may be, out in the suburbs in the middle of nowhere and not really have a support network like that. But the beauty is that look what you're doing right now. You're watching this video. In a sense, we are communicating, right? And on YouTube, you can look up everybody. Go look up some Gary Vaynerchuk videos. Go look up some Grant Cardone videos. Go look up some Steve Jobs videos I've been watching recently. I keep a whole playlist of motivation because I know that when that low point does come, I know exactly how to heal it. It's like, boom, let me reset the mindset, because a lot of the unmotivatedness is not in your ability to do things per se, but it's in the mindset of how you think about the things, right? So definitely use YouTube as a great source of motivation. Books are another great one, because you can start, like, you'll start to see the bigger picture sometimes. You'll start to understand maybe a little bit more about your psychology and stuff like that. And other than that, I got one last tip here, and it's going to be that every single book out there, a lot of people are really going to tell you, like, constantly envision yourself, like, driving the Ferrari and having this amazing life and doing all this stuff and envisioning everything. And honestly, I think that stuff's great. I don't think it's going to be the only thing you need to do. I don't believe in, like, The Secret, where you can just think you got the giant house and it'll just pop up, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm not against any of the vision stuff, but something that I think is very, very important is keeping that North Star, like, really, really solid on your mind. You can think about it on a daily basis. Sometimes when I drink coffee, I listen to music a little bit and think about kind of where are we going to be in 5 years or a year or like 10 years out from now. And that stuff really helps, but then also celebrating the small wins. Okay? Like, sure, you might imagine yourself with a six-pack, but celebrate the win of just getting at the gym. It doesn't even have to be the best workout, right? Celebrate the win of making a post on your social media for the first time, or your first 10 posts, or even if you don't publish a YouTube video, you celebrate, like, wow, I just finished a video, right? That's what my sister's doing right now. She's trying to get into it and stuff, and she's talking about she needs all this equipment. I'm like, just try to get your first video done. And guess what? She got her first one done. She built a little studio for it at the house. Nothing crazy. Got her second one done, picking up momentum, okay? It was the same way for us, So celebrate those small wins, because what's going to happen is that as you're celebrating those small wins, you're still staring at that North Star. And then it'll kind of keep you going. It's almost your fuel along the way, all right? And even if stuff goes wrong, you still can celebrate a small win, right? We've had times where we're selling a product and the entire website crashes and we lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. This has literally happened multiple times for us. And but the good news is we learned. Now we know to prepare ourselves, right? There's still some wins even in a bad scenario like that. And I'm sure you guys can all start looking at the glass a little more half full than half empty and get a lot out of it. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this motivation tips. If you maybe have a tip that you use to get really motivated, leave a comment below. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we got a lot more to come. Peace out.